Okay, now you said that, and this is something I want people to hear. You talked about your church,
yes,
stepping in and stepping
yes,
up, and
exactly.
I think this is so righteous. I just love this.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Okay, my husband at the time was not helping me financially, and as I had said earlier, I didn't have any income because I couldn't work. I was so sick.
Now, is this husband or ex-husband?
Ex-husband now.
Ex-husband.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
At this time, was he
Yes.
husband or ex-husband?
He was a husband at the
He was
time.
still
Well, it depends on the definition of a husband.
I got it. I got it. I'm not going there. That's far enough. I got the picture.
But I
we'll
know
pray
that
for
there's
him.
a lot of ladies that can relate to that,
I
because
know.
when you're a caregiver, that's a huge responsibility, and that's very difficult for somebody that when you start taking care of someone and they're not prepared for that either. And as I hear so many moms say, you know, you don't get a book, and moms and dads that say you don't get a book on raising children. It's the same thing when you're in the household with somebody that's sick and they're fighting for their life.
And some people have the gift of being a caregiver, and
some don't.
My brother was the finest with my mother. You could look in her eyes. She hated to see me come through the door because, man, I could not do. She'd ask me, well, put a pillow behind my back, you know, and I'd throw her out on the floor. I just couldn't do it. I tried so hard, but man, I was a bull in China shop. And my brother was just so good.
That's
he was
wonderful.
just so tender with her.
That's
and
great.
so good. Him and his wife, and I'm still indebted to them because.
Well, we'll put you in a class.
It's going to take more than a class.
Okay, well, we'll take you through a series then.
If it can be messed up, I would mess it up. Your church. I want you to talk about your church. We ain't got about 8 minutes to go. I want to get this in.
Oh, we got to talk about Cappelleez too.
We're going to talk about these bags. Yeah.
Okay.
Talk about your church, then we'll get to what you call them.
These are Cappelleez.
Cappelleez.
Yes. This is something that I felt like the Lord was leading me to do, because as I laid there, I had designed many other things in the past, and I was trying
result of you losing your hair.
I did not have a speck of hair on me anywhere. No eyelashes, no eyebrows. I mean, nothing. So I was as slick bald as you could be, and I was one ugly chick, I can tell you that.
I doubt that.
Oh, I was. It was scary. But one thing was a blessing. I thought, God puts steam on the mirrors, and there's a reason for it. So I would try and hurry up and get dressed. And so back to the Cappelleez, though, when I would try and wear wigs, it was very hot and a lot of pressure on my head. Something about chemo makes your head tender, sometimes very cold. And when I went and had my head shaved, it felt like roaches were all over my head. And so for me to wear a wig or caps, you could still tell that I was bald with the caps. And then it would come down because I had lost all my hair because I had so much of it. And then I came up with this idea with Cappelleez. And would you like me to put it on?
That's up to you. It's your head, your hair.
No, I said you.
I'm not going to make it.
So the great thing about it is you'll notice that there is a seam on the outside.
Okay.
And that will not put any pressure. The material, if you'll feel this, it's very soft.
It is.
And it's almost like a little cozy blanket.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
But it is breathable, so for those that are
is that
going
linen?
through, it's actually a blend of fabric.
Okay.
Yeah.
It feels good.
So it's very stretchy, but the great thing is you put it on your head, and when you don't have hair, then like I said earlier, you sometimes lose your eyelashes and eyebrows. And with so much going on, people didn't really realize I had lost that as well. So it's multifunctional for those that don't, I'm going to turn around here,
okay.
For those that
I see.
don't feel comfortable with it being long. I had very long hair. They can tuck it under and spread it out, and then it's short. And you can tie it up in a little bun, and there's all different kinds of colors and patterns. And we just
you design
made
these now. You make these.
I do.
And
Yes,
sell them.
I do. I sell them. I have about 40 hospitals across the United States, and there are now cancer boutiques, and it's kind of a one-stop shop, which makes it so much better for the families.
This is important. This is very important.
It's extremely important because 1 out of 3 women will be diagnosed with some form of cancer within their lifetime.
And that hair is so special to a woman.
It is. I was devastated. I didn't think that after going through all the other things that when I lost my hair, I thought, well, it's just hair, it'll grow back. But once I didn't have it, I realized what an important part it is. And losing your eyelashes, now I know why God gave us eyelashes, because it keeps all the stuff out of our eyes. So there were so many things I learned from that.
And so now, how does people get in touch with you on these things? I mean, pull out some of those other colors there and let's look at that. You got some pretty things.
Yeah, and they have names. This one's Black Lace, and this is Sunburst. This one's Pink Petal. And so they're just all a variety of things. They're fun, and you can even dress up.
You make these in your home?
I do. But we can't tell the hospitals that. Yes.
Okay. How many of these things you make a week?
I've made over 2,000. I do know that. I don't know a week, but because like tomorrow I have an appointment with one of the hospitals locally, and so I'm just trying to reach out to as many ladies as possible to offer them comfort. But to get in touch with me, it is on the website. There is a website, and it's Cappelleez Headwear and Apparel, and it's www.cappelleez.com. And you will have to flash something up, because to spell that, it isn't spelled in the normal way.
Betsy's coming. Look right straight at that camera. There you come. She's going to try to zero in on that.
Cappelleez, I wanted something different and something that had fashion. And Cappelleez means free hair in Italian. And
right?
Yes. And so this isn't hair, but it gives the illusion of feeling like you do have hair.
I've seen them on the streets.
Yes.
I've seen people, I didn't realize it.
And it's so easy to just take this and you can crumble it up and put it in your purse and carry 2 or 3. I've had ladies that had were burn patients, and they had lost their hair, and go to a wedding. And so they can be dressed down, dressed up. And then you were talking about my church. Real quick.
I don't talk about the church, but what about, does men wear them? Because when I went in the military and they shaved my head off,
yes.
Boy, you're talking about scary. I didn't even recognize myself. Do men wear them?
They can, yes. I do have them in solid colors, and yes, they can wear them.
See, I would have worn that when I was riding motorcycles.
Exactly. This is great for the motorcycle industry. This is wonderful.
Sunshine on your back of your neck when you get out west in Arizona, out in there, and burn you up, man.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about your church, because you were struggling. Your husband had left you. You were overcoming cancer. You was going through all this stuff, and your church gathered around you.
Yes.
And we got 2 minutes. Tell me about your church.
My Sunday school class. Our church has a department called the Nurture Team, and they actually fed me. And I had worked with Room in the Inn here in Nashville for many years, and now I know what it was like with Father Strobel, and I finally realized the impact of what it's like to lose practically everything. And so my church stepped in, and they paid my house note, all my utilities, and they fed me for 6 months.
See, that's what I wanted to get across right there.
Folks, praise the Lord.
This is what, yes, you were, I can't imagine being sick and being homeless and being sick as you were. I can't imagine being sick and being homeless.
But my church didn't allow me to be homeless.
They did not allow you to be homeless. They paid your bills, and I call that aggressive benevolence. They saw that there was a need, and they went out, and they didn't ask you permission. They went out and fixed it for you.
Yes.
And what I want to say is, people, that's the way a church is supposed to be. And you say, well, my church don't do that. Find one that does.
Exactly.
And because that's Christianity, and I think that is so powerful.
It is powerful.
I'm sorry that you had to go through all the struggles you've had to go through in life, but it has presented a lesson for the rest of us. I had a dear friend that was told he had cancer, and he left the doctor's office, and he was in shock, you know.
The cancer
He walked
bubble.
out, and what'd you say?
The cancer bubble.
The cancer bubble, and he walked out, and Jade, he stepped in the elevator and started down, and he said, you know, they told me I have 1.5 years to live. I didn't know how long I had to live.
Right.
And before, so we don't know. So we don't know. So we have to make the most of what we got when we are, and that's what you've done.
Yes.
I thank you so much for coming and being our guest. And I'd like for you to come back sometime.
I would love to.
And folks, if you have some questions for her, I want you to not hesitate to get in touch with us at the office, and we'll get you in touch with her.
Yes.
Because she's been down a struggle, and you're never alone if you get with the right people and you get with the right church. And I want to thank you for tuning in.